Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 5 of 40 Something Podcast. I'm still Trevor Schaefer, and Jerry, for some reason, still joins me. Hi, Jerry.
You're the only person I talk to consistently.
Pretty much, yes. On a beautiful Friday night, this is what we do.
Yeah, it's a Friday night in Northeast Pennsylvania. It snowed this morning. It was 52 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need a coat after 1 o'clock.
I actually went out in my winter coat this morning, had to scrape off almost an inch of snow, and I went out to dinner in a hockey jersey with no jacket.
We went out. I took my daughter over to her sleepover. She was staying at a friend's house tonight, and I put my coat on, and I really didn't need it.
Yeah.
But I took it anyway because I want the kids to know that you should probably wear a jacket when it's cold out. Yeah. So
do as I say, not as I do. That's.
Yeah. But then we go to the mall because you know what I call the two great local pizza places, and I don't need to say their names, but screw that. I'm going to Angelo's and Jerry's.
Hour and a half wait.
45-minute wait at both places.
That's ridiculous.
Hour and 45 minutes.
I'm not going to say it's not worth it, but no pizza's worth that amount of wait.
It's not. So I was going up near the mall anyway. So 3 slices of Dino's, on the other hand, was good enough for dinner.
But the important thing for those of you local to NEPA, which Dino's, the restaurant or the food court?
Oh, the restaurant.
Definitely.
Only the restaurant.
Yeah.
The food court is like some weird second dimension of pizza. I don't know what they do.
I'm seriously convinced at the food court they serve the same pizza for like 3 days because it's always black on the bottom. It doesn't taste right.
You have to check the level of curl. That's what how much is it curling up at the tips or the ends?
Yeah.
You don't get that piece.
No.
I try once in a while. I get the Sicilian there, but the problem with that one is it's so heavy.
And this is
and you're like.
And again, I'm going to sound like the old man, but Sicilian isn't as I am. The Sicilian isn't as big as it used to be.
No.
Like when we were in high school, man, I mean, it was like the size of your face, and now it's like half that size for twice the price.
War piece, you know?
Yeah.
That's that kind of size.
I mean, you get it. I mean, I'm exaggerating slightly, but you'd buy a large Italian or a large Sicilian pie, and it's 4 slices.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's better than Domino's.
Almost any. The only reason I ever order Domino's is
you don't want to go somewhere.
Exactly, and they deliver. It's one of the very few places around here that delivers. And I could order online. I don't have to have any human interaction.
Yeah, no. Well, they were trying to do those. Remember, they were trying to do those cars that delivered pizza. Remember
that?
Yeah. That was like in the first episode of this shit. Only if they did that, then I would never actually have to see a human ever again.
So let's bring up a topic of the last 2 shows. You went tonight. I went a couple days ago to kind of say goodbye to Toys R Us.
I did. We after the mall, after going for pizza, we walked through the mall a little bit today. That's after I got over the fact that my older daughter was going to the mall with friends.
Ooh. Yeah.
I was very depressed when I heard that today. So anyway,
She's of that age now, or she's a mall rat like we were.
Yeah, only I hope she doesn't shop at Victoria's Secrets or that other place. So God, I hope that never happens.
Stayed a hot topic.
Yeah. Oh, that might be bad too. I've seen some. Anyway, so we get there. We go to Toys R Us, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going here to say goodbye to Toys R Us. And it was depressing, actually. Yeah. There was still a lot of stuff in the store. I was surprised. There was a lot of action figure-y, baby doll kind of stuff. A lot of Nerf stuff. I was really surprised that stuff was still around.
But nothing's discounted big time. It's all 10%.
Yes. And I hate to say that about a store that I love, but I can't believe they're closing it and it's not cheaper.
Honest to God.
18. That's how it should be, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it should be.
I mean, I've worked in retail for over 20 years, and I've actually closed stores. I've opened stores. And typically the rule of thumb is when you're closing a store, you go in your back room or warehouse, and you bring out every last piece of shit you can find to try to sell. And I was hoping they would do that. Like, you get to see some old action figures, some shit they've had left behind, and it's the same shit that was there 3 months ago.
Fucking Hill. Remember when Hills closed?
Oh my God.
They were selling the shelves.
Yeah.
They were selling the hooks for the pegs. They were selling anything that wasn't nailed down.
Let's go back in time. Do you remember when Zaire's closed and they were
Yes.
doing dollar Atari cartridges?
Yeah. $1?
Yeah.
And they were in the box.
They
for
were.
$1. That was the grips of the game crash too, but wow. I remember getting like a bunch of Activision Atari games for like $5.
Yeah, they were just clearing everything out.
It reminds me of the modern equivalent is like when you go to Best Buy or Walmart and they have that bucket of DVDs,
Yeah.
like 3 for $5 because they're never going to sell them. So yeah, that's really what it is. That's the modern equivalent of it. Yeah, it was really sad. Like I went right to the video game area because I just wanted to see what was left. I knew I wouldn't get any deals anyway, but
Were the video games still 5% off?
the systems were 5% off.
Okay.
The games were 10.
Okay.
So that had gone up.
Yeah, maybe. I think both were 5 when I was there. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, like I looked. There was a lot of PS4 games left, mostly garbage.
Mm-hmm.
If you like sports games or WWE games, yeah, they're all there for you, all the way from 2016. Of course, if you like Just Dance, plenty of
Place to
copies
go.
of that left. They had games for the Wii.
Really?
What I saw: the Wii, the Wii U, the Xbox 360, and obviously the moderns. Everything.
Yeah.
There were Switch games there. There was some like PS4, Xbox One games, and some other stuff. See, this is the problem with parenting right now.
Yeah.
And my brother's calling at the same time. That's amazing.
All right.
All right. See, like this is the stuff I tell him, like all the time. Is do not call me on a Friday night. You later. Okay. All right. There we go. Shut up.
They make a mute button on these things that just kind of,
I did. You know what? I want to respond to him because he'll just keep calling.
Oh.
So now that the excitement of my life is over,
Yes.
where were we? Oh yeah, so the Xbox One. There was very little left in the video game section. They were still trying to sell iPad 2s and 3s. Who's buying them there?
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy anything electronic from that place anyway right now because you can't return it.
That's true. Everything's final, and even if you go on their website now, if you go to ToysRUs.com, it's still active, but they tell you right off the bat with the banner that you can't buy anything through it anymore.
Well,
so
just I walked around the whole store, and I'd hate to get a mushy moment, but when my oldest turned 1, the day before she turned 1, I went up there and got the biggest stuffed animal I could physically purchase and fit in my car. And afford, come to think of it at the time.
well, sorry.
And to this day, she still uses it as a pillow.
Nice.
That's a big moment for me. And I have to go and take it places to wash it because it's so big, but it's worth it. And I will always remember Toys R Us for at least that.
And for me, being a parent, I'll always remember the Thomas the Train table. Because in the wintertime, when Jack was just getting into Thomas, we would go up there and we'd buy 1 or 2, but he would sit there for an hour and play with all the trains at the train table. And at the time, I would just pretty much take my jacket, just lean up against the rack, and play on my phone the entire time. But we did that for probably close to a year. And it's just one of those things that's like, my son has experienced Toys R Us. He knows the excitement of going there and getting something. But my daughter, who's 3, isn't going to really experience that because it's not going to be there for when she's of that age where I got birthday money, I want to go to Toys R Us. Or, I got a good report card, I want to go to Toys R Us. And now it's going to be, we go to Target, which is where we were tonight.
Yeah. What I could see you could make out on is,
wow, you shook your entire camera kicking the dog.
Yeah, no, I didn't kick the dog.
Oh.
I almost kicked the daughter.
But
not the dog. Oh man, I get pissed off and I lose my train of thought. I hate that. Toys R Us.
We're talking about the experience of going to Toys R Us when you got birthday money, or
yeah, you know what? This is an over 40 problem.
Yeah,
you can't remember things from like 2 seconds ago. And then there's that.
Although the ironic thing is, I did post a meme. And I'm not a big meme posting person, but it actually made sense. I think I posted it last week on Facebook that it said, father talking to his son is like, I'm upset you're never going to get the experience of going into a Toys R Us and getting excited like I did. Then it goes toddler taking out a wireless earbud and putting down their iPad. I'm good. And that's the thing. That's today's generation.
Yeah, it's really sad. You'll never know the happiness of, like, me and Kelly were talking about it when we were there, and it was like, remember, we said this before, the wall of board games.
Oh, yes.
The glass cases of the video games, you know what I mean? Like, they'll never have known that.
No. And the funny thing is...
We're lucky to remember that, come to think of it.
Well, I was just going to say, it's been, 20-some years since they remodeled that. Mm-hmm. And whenever I think of Toys R Us in my head, I think of the old Toys R Us from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
The way it was arranged and where the action figures were and that huge aisle of video games and seeing the first PlayStation there at the demo unit, us playing the Virtual Boy, the N64. Like you said, that wall of board games right across from the glass cases that had all the cool shit in there. And
I spent and I probably spent, in my lifetime, 8 days total there. You know what I mean?
At least.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Cumulatively, you know. But there's no, like, I don't know. There's no great deals there.
No, not yet.
That I even was like, there was like a bucket of 200 fake Nerf darts, like a generic Nerf darts. Mm-hmm. I thought, well, $15, that's not too bad. Then 10% off, and then I'm like, nah, I don't. Nah.
That link I sent you on Amazon was cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't get it. But I was like, I figured if I go there and it was like 20 to 40% off, I would pick that up.
Oh, absolutely. I was hoping for at least 25 to 30% when I went there, and I was like, wow, it was more. It's more expensive now than it was at Christmas.
It is.
I mean,
that's what those closeout and store closing things do. They jack it up, and eventually bring it down to the point where either they know they're not. They just try to weed out what's not going to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people there were buying stuffed animals. I saw a lot of people taking, which I found kind of weird. Mostly, you know where they're going to lose out is those American Girl dolls.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. First off, they're too expensive to go anywhere anyway. Yeah.
And really, apples to apples, oranges to oranges, Toys R Us over the last couple of years has been more expensive than Target or Walmart. If you want to go to a brick and mortar and not buy online.
But you know what? Toys R Us ended up having it all the time.
Sometimes
you go to Target, Walmart, and all that, they don't have it.
Like
Toys R Us is there for you.
Like Toys R Us, I always went there for the adult action figures. That, the collector's figures.
Dildos there, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anything could be a dildo if your imagination is big enough. And your openings.
Yeah, all right, I'm good with that. Let's
just imagine this Pepsi bottle, and here you go.
Imagination. Okay.
Refreshing drink and a good time afterwards.
Yeah. You know what? If you do it the right day, it'll vibrate.
Oh!
Shake it up.
Shake it up and just let it go.
For the new generation.
I've got a fountain fanny. Or be a fanny fountain, actually. Baby.
Yeah, that gives a whole new meaning. It was like Michael Jackson Pepsi commercials from the 80s.
Would that be the one he set his hair on fire or the one he didn't set his hair on fire to?
Oh, it don't matter. Remember, he was Captain EO.
Don't remind me. I actually had that 3D comic book back when 3D comic books were a thing.
I remember watching. I saw Captain EO when it was at Disneyland or World.
Oh, my God.
That was still around. That was around forever, actually. You know what I mean? It was like Back to the Future to ride at Universal. That finally went away, which is really sad. But
and playing Moonwalker, it's hard not to giggle at it. It's like, ooh, and all the guys explode.
Yeah, or all the zombies start doing the dances, and you're like, what is this? Like, this is a Dance Dance Revolution before it was something.
Yeah.
I'm just glad the Jackson 5 didn't show up at anything like that. Let's be happy about that.
So, while we're on the subject of disappointment with Toys R Us, I told you 2 weeks ago that I was going to New York City. And my plan was to visit Midtown Comics, which if you don't know what Midtown Comics is, look it up. Huge comic book store. In fact, the one that I went to at Times Square has an entire floor of almost just collectibles. And they have an entire floor of new release comics and graphic novels. I mean, it's huge. So I went to that store, went to another Midtown Comics in Grand Central. So I went to 2 Midtown Comics. All this merchandise, all these comics, and what do I buy? One little Enterprise. Because that was the only thing they had that I wanted. I spent a whopping $23 on a metal Enterprise.
That's nice, though. I like
that. But I laughed because I went there. I went to the New York Nintendo store, which was flat out amazing. And where did I spend?
Now I have to go there.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
Hate New York.
But where did I spend all my money at? Or the most money, I should say? The M&M store. Of all, it's an entire store dedicated to M&M's, my favorite candy of all time. And I got
can't eat them anymore. But go ahead.
But I got an M&M dispenser. I got shoelaces for my son. He wanted shoelaces. I got him a blanket, like a fleece blanket, which I got for like $5 because I spent over 25. And then I got myself a tumbler cup.
Scoring a deal at the M&M store. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I actually ended up spending more money on the kids because then we went to the Disney store and got my daughter some Doc McStuffins stuff, which still sounds stupid when I say it, but yeah, it was one of those things that I was so. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a great time. I spent 5 hours walking around New York, a city I've only been to once, like 20 some years ago. And my wife and I separated, so it was great seeing that. It was great going to the Nintendo store, which is definitely a must visit if you're there. But it was just kind of like I had all this spending money in my pocket, money literally to burn. And then I came home with that.
No.
It was just disappointing. It's all it was.
No, I mean that's not a disappointing. That's like adults, you know.
Well,
it's like,
speaking of adult moments, they actually did have one other thing I was looking at. It was a 9-inch tall PVC Batman the Animated Series statue, and it was of Batman throwing a batarang. And I actually was ready to buy that. And then I stopped, and the adult in me kicked in. The 40-year-old goes, "Why are you going to buy that? It's big. It's going to sit on a shelf and collect dust. You're going to look at it every 6 months when you pick it up to dust it off, and that's it."
Yeah.
And I went, I can't argue with that. It is absolutely true.
That's the exact reason I don't buy. I don't buy. No, let's just say this. Let me clarify this early on. I don't buy like collector's edition games that come with figurines and shit. Like Kelly bought me for when God of War, the last God of War, not 3, but there was one after that came out. It came with like this statue of Kratos, like on a hill with his knives or swords or whatever. It's really great, and it sits on the top of my shelf and has only ever fallen down. You know,
the last video game collector's edition I got was Fallout 3. Came with an art book, a lunchbox, and a bobblehead of Pip-Boy. And you know where that's at?
On a shelf?
On a shelf up in my attic.
Yeah.
Not seeing the light of day any which way. And it's like sometimes like this, I'm in the midst of building my new office. This will proudly sit either on a shelf or on the desk I'm building. That I will love. But like a statue of Batman, even though I love Batman the Animated Series, I'm like, it's going to take up room. It's too big. It's going to collect dust, and I'm like,
yep,
screw it.
I'm the same way. That's why I don't and we're kind of the same way. I like flea markets and estate sales. And I love that shit. And every time I go there to anything, unless it's something like that's so odd,
yeah,
I'll love it. Like the thing I got for my keys, like this big like goblet thing I bought for my keys. All right, that was really strange. It was like $3. So I couldn't pass it up. But I was at one today. My mom actually. We had gone to lunch, and she says, "Hey, there's an estate sale in Linwood. You want to go over to it?" I'm like, "You're driving. I don't have a choice." So I went, and the guy is selling 2 houses worth of stuff. And the one house was all a bar. So it's all like beer mirrors and neon signs and everything. Everything in the place is negotiable, of course, because they're just trying to get rid of it. And I'm walking around, I'm like, man, I would really like that, but I'll never use it or ever do anything with it. There was a nice, my grandfather drank Stroh's, and I remember that because we always kind of bring it up at holidays because nobody drinks that shit. And I was like, there's a nice Stroh's clock with a light. I'm like, that would look great.
Where?
Nowhere in my house will look great. I thought about it, so I talked myself out of it. I took myself out of it. Getting somebody a Christmas gift there. I might go back to it tomorrow though, pick it up, see if they can cheap it out. Something funny for my brother. But
And honestly, the only thing I buy anymore, really, are these guys, the Funko Pops. I'll pick up a bunch.
I can't stand those.
But
things.
they're tiny, and that's the fun part that they don't take up much room.
I have 2 or 3 of them. I have what do I have? I have the Green Arrow.
Shit,
and I have
there we go.
I have the Green Arrow and Gamora and Doctor Hooves and I have girls. You'll understand.
Yeah.
And then I forget my other one is, but I have a couple of them. And you know what? Like we were at FYE today, who has they have a million. I like that store. Don't get me wrong, a little pricey sometimes, but
you have to catch it in the sales. Like that's where I buy a lot of pop vinyls. But you have to get it like around Christmas time when they do like buy 2 get 1 free. That's when it's worth it.
Buy one get one 75% off.
So no, it's buy 2 get 1 75% off.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Christmas time, it's usually buy 2 get 1 free.
I'd hate to sound like an old man, but that's what this show's pretty much all about at this point. You look at the wall of them; they're not in any particular order.
Oh no, not at all. Not even close.
I was looking for one. I was looking for like Indiana Jones or. Maybe like a Castlevania one, something I would get you know.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find it. I couldn't tell you what I found. There was 7 Chun-Lis. I would have bought Rick from Rick and Morty. Actually, I really like that show, but that show's really great.
The one time we were there, this was probably a year or 2 ago when we first started buying them, and we were looking for one in particular. And my wife goes and asks the clerk. She goes, "Do you have this pop vinyl?" She looks up and she goes, "Yeah, we have it." And my wife goes, "Okay, where is it?" She's like, and the clerk even goes, "Somewhere on that wall. We don't organize them." And it's like, well,
why wouldn't they at least they all have a number?
Mm-hmm.
Just put them in the order of the number. You know?
Yeah.
Or how about by the show?
I was just gonna say the show. Yeah. It's like,
Somebody go get my walking cane. I want to swing it at somebody. I was just so frustrated. And, you know, that's where we're walking around, and the Kelly and Kate are showing me stuff. But you know what? FYE's a little behind the times a lot, too. They still selling, they were still selling Deadpool stuff a little late. I thought Batman's still there, which is fine.
Well, Deadpool's coming out this year, too.
I understand that, but it was also there last year.
Mm-hmm.
The same shit. And I'm looking at the Dragon Ball Z stuff, which I like, but it's all Dragon Ball Z stuff, and Z's been off the air for years.
Yeah.
This is Dragon Ball Super now, and that's over anyway, but that's depressing. It's like Toys R Us closing. It's also very depressing.
And with FYI, I want to meet one person who ever bought one of those freaking 6.5-foot statues for $1,000 that they have.
I know. There's one right inside the door. Batman from Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Who's paying $999 for maybe for $90?
Yeah.
I'd leave it by the front door to scare the shit out of people.
It wasn't last Christmas. It was the Christmas before with the release of the Girl Ghostbusters. They had a life-size Slimer. And I look at my wife. I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. A foam Slimer. Now, nothing fancy, just foam, no stand, no nothing. $300.
You see my face?
Yeah. Because I was like,
what?
I was like, okay, $50, maybe $80. Yeah, that'd be cool to have a life-size Slimer. Yeah. $300 frickin' dollars. It's like for foam rubber. Come on, it's gonna deteriorate in 5 years. It'll just you push it in and it stays in. I wish I would do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Huh?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I wish every time I sucked it in, it wouldn't come back.
Seriously. And I hate it. My wife has been shrinking my shirts over the last few months. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, keep telling yourself that one, buddy.
I know.
That's why I take all my shirts and go like this. Oh, it's a little bigger now. I'm between large and holy shit.
Well, I realized I was out of shape when I was in New York. Walking, I must have walked about 10 miles. I mean, I walked from Times Square to Grand Central and back again about 4 times. And I have no problem walking. Midtown Comics, the first shop, is 3 flights of stairs. I could barely breathe by the 3rd flight of stairs. Thank God the second shop at Grand Central had a fucking elevator. I'm like, oh, thank the shit for that.
Remember that part in Avengers where he swung the elevator going down? Anyway,
M&M store had an escalator. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Fuck
Yeah.
this stair shit.
I walk around a lot at work, but you know what? And I try to take. I've been pretty good the last week. I took the dog for a walk like every day.
But
Even
walking
when it was cold.
flat in an elevation is two completely different things.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you not live in the same area I do, where there's hills fucking everywhere?
But hills are different than steps.
Oh, all right. Okay. You ever walk up my hill?
Yeah, no, I haven't. I drive. I'm an adult.
Like, it starts here and it ends, in hell. I was to say the whole valley would have to be underwater for my house to get flooded.
That's what I always say. When we flooded back in 2011, I actually had to call my boss. And I'm like, I'm not going to make it into work. And she's like, why? You flooded? I said, no, we're not flooded at all, but we're an island. Everything around us is flooded. We can't go anywhere.
That's great.
Every major road was flooded around us, but we were high and dry.
Yeah. Well, not going that way.
Not going that way.
Not going that way. Oh, well, we're stuck. So, all right. All right, here we go. All right, so let's talk about, let's see, I sent Trevor articles that he didn't read.
I read one.
Which one did you read?
I read about the Super Mario Odyssey runs.
Super Mario Odyssey. All right, let's go with that because you read it. And so apparently the Super Mario Odyssey speedrun world record has been broken 3 times in the last 10 days. First off, I'm really shocked that there's already a speedrunning community for this. And
they said it was
that's like nearly instant for games anymore.
Yeah, they said it was they had on speedrun.com. It was the second most recorded speedruns next to Mario 64.
Well, old Nintendo, I guess they know what they're doing.
But as someone who's beaten, there's actually 2 ways to beat Mario. I beat it the first time, and you go back through a second time. So I'm working on that second time. But to beat it the first time, I mean, it's kind of like Mario 64, where it's not just a simple jump and go, where to beat it in under an hour and 4 minutes, was it? An hour, 3 minutes and 47 seconds, I think, is the current world record.
Yeah, 319.
Okay, 319. That is damn impressive.
Well, when we see we've seen other ones that are just sick. Over the years. Like the guy who beat Super Metroid in less than an hour getting everything. What?
I just watched a speed run the other day. It was Mario World. It was under 10 minutes. It was a new world record. It was 9 minutes.
Sick.
And I'm like, some of the moves he was pulling off, I'm like, holy. Then he gets mad at one point, because you know how they have the timekeepers on the side of their stream.
Yeah.
He was making up like 0.1 second, 0.1 second, 0.2 second, and he finished flat in one. And he's like, God damn it, I screwed that up. I'm like, dude, you're still like doing amazing. You're doing moves I didn't even know you could do.
Did you ever notice every one of those videos starts with them resetting?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever notice that? What is that?
And now here's the thing. Here's me playing those games. And here's the speedrunner. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna set a world record. I mean, no stress, no nothing. And it's like, how do you do that?
I wouldn't let anybody watch it until I did it.
I'm sitting on my couch and I'm stressing out over what you're doing.
It's like Hulk smash.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
Because I'm sorry, for me personally, the most stressful part about watching anyone play Super Mario World is when they start flying with the cape, but they go so far down below the screen that you just see the head come up every once in a while. It's like, how are you not dying? It's stressing me out.
Another one that stresses me out is when they do like, some reasons sometimes I can't watch speedruns because it's like they're not killing everything.
Yeah.
Or they're leaving things behind. Like, turn around and get that mushroom.
That was the one in Batman for the NES. The speed run, they figured out if you get hit, you're invulnerable for, I think, 3 seconds while you flash. So you time where you get hit to make it past certain enemies to maximize your time. And I'm like, I got to kill everybody. That's just the way I am.
Yeah, I mean, I
Clear
think
the
they call
floor.
that damage boosting. Something that's called damage boosting. That's if damage boosting is knockback. You know, like in Castlevania, if you get hit, you get thrown back.
And you can
That's not
jump on
nice.
platforms and doing that, yeah.
But if you watch a lot of speedrunners, and it doesn't matter what the game is, if they want to go to the right, they'll quick turn themselves left when they get hit, so they get knocked in that direction.
Which I've never understood that. That breaks my brain.
And I've tried to do it.
Like the people that do World 1 on Mario with Mario facing left but jumping right, it's like, how do you do that?
That has to be like a keep. That's bullshit.
Which, on a side note, I saw a great thing online the other day. If you ever want to break my brain, make a Mario game where you run left instead of right.
Well, that's what Super Luigi Brothers was.
Was it? I don't remember that.
There was a release of it. Why there was some Luigi Mario game. That doesn't make any sense now that I said it.
Because the only Luigi game that I know of was Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers Wii U, because it came with Luigi Wii U, but it was just extra boards with Luigi.
See, I thought one of them was him going backwards through regular levels. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But you know what? What they should have done is made a game like that where it was mirrored.
Yeah.
That would have been, because they did that with Mario Kart. Like every Mario Kart is the mirror tracks, which suck, by the way. So
the one I've never played, which I should find it and acquire it, is Mario. Was it Mario 2.5D? I think it's called.
Oh, 2.5D.
2.5D.
It never really existed.
No, I've seen it played.
Oh, okay.
Because you get to a point where it's kind of like Super Mario World 3D for the Wii U, that you get to a certain point and you're blocked. And then you have to rotate it. And then on the plane, you have to go to the X-axis or the Z-axis over.
Z-axis.
And then get so far, then come back over, and then do it 2D again.
Yeah. Well, that's how Mega Man 2.5D was. If you ever see the videos of that, like when you needed to go into the Z-axis, we'll say.
Yeah.
There was like a power-up for it. So he only had so much time to turn in that and get to a certain point where the game would continue or he died. I think that's how it was going to work. But nothing beats the 8-bit Deathmatch Mega Man. I don't care what anybody says. That game's awesome.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Is that the one, Mega Man versus Street Fighter, I think it was?
No. Mega Man versus Street Fighter was and that was a fan project that became a real deal.
Yeah.
But they couldn't sell it.
Because that looked pretty cool.
I had it on my PC, and I think there's a Mac version of it, which I'd like to give it a try, because now I have to buy. Because it's like trying to play Mega Man with a keyboard, it sounds as hard as that.
Oh, yeah.
I just said it. You know? It's like trying to play any old NES game with a keyboard. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, back to this story. Super Mario Odyssey speedrun, you know, like 10 days. It's 3 times in the last 10 days. Any percentage, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I don't have to, you know, 100% speedruns I love to watch too. It depends on the game, especially if I played it as a kid, or it's one of my favorite series, or games that don't really need it. But they're like chiseling the time down. This is the second week in a row we talk. Maybe not the second week in a row, but we talk about a Mario speedrun.
That was
episode
episode
2,
I
you
think.
sent me again.
The math hurts my brain.
The math. It hurts my head. It's crazy.
But I actually might want to try to find one of these speedruns and watch it, just because of playing Mario Odyssey. It takes a while because you can't move on to the next world until you get enough moons. Well, and it's like, I'm curious what they do.
It's right now, the one on that link that I sent you has the current one, well, who knows? It's probably not current anymore, but it was the one. There is a speed run of it, and that would be more of the show that the game that I've actually probably seen. So
that's why I don't like watching speedruns for games I haven't played yet. It's like I don't want to ruin the game, but I've already seen the ending for it. So
yeah, I don't know. Sometimes if I know I'm never gonna play it, and the game has like a slight amount of interest for me, I'll get into it. You know. I'll get into that, but like Mario Odyssey, I might have some interest in that eventually. Maybe, sort of.
It's worth it.
It is worth it. I'll wait till I can get that used cheap. You know what I mean?
Which I gotta say, congratulations on your new system.
Yeah, you know, I got it. I kept telling Kelly that I want one. And finally, we were up at the mall doing something. She says, "Why don't we go get your Switch?" And you know, get that, you could get it. Okay, so we go up in there and get it. And I wanted to buy the kids, we wanted the Easter Bunny to get games for them. So we picked out the ones we wanted for him to pick up. Child. Uh, so, and the Easter Bunny and I got the Breath of the Wild, which is mind-blowingly beautiful. I cannot believe. Like, I don't have the life force to actually probably get everything in it, but to play it, it's unbelievably good. I can't. I can't. There's a lot of dialogue in it. I was really surprised there was like that much talking in it for an open world game, and then there's chunks of it where it's nothing but him for. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great, and I got Splatoon 2. Hang on a sec. What? Okay, well, I'm sure you're not going to die from that. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
I don't know how many digits are left.
Yeah, they're all there. It's a scratch from the dog.
Ow.
You know, we gotta. Well, I know, honey, but he just got him trimmed today. Anyway, so we got Splatoon 2, which my older daughter has played nonstop since we got it.
Yeah, my son plays it all the time. Although he's been playing Doom nonstop since Christmas, so.
Yeah, and then I got Katie the Just Dance because that's her more of her thing. But I bought snipper clippers on the store. It was on sale. It's like regularly 30, and I got it for 20. And what's really weird about it is Nintendo does this, and this is one that I forgot they do. They put combinations together to make you think it's a deal.
Oh yeah.
Price them separately. It's exactly the same price.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost bought it with the DLC, and I'm like, there's no deal there. I'll wait till the DLC's on, especially, and then I'll buy it. But snipper clippers, I had seen the Game Grumps play it when the Switch had first came out, and I was like, well, I really like that. It's like a lot of logic thinking puzzles, you know what I mean? You have to take the two characters and cut them into the right shapes so you can make certain things happen. And I'm like, I really get into that stuff. And me and my older daughter have had a blast with it. Although I bought it for me and Kelly. Kelly's yet to be able to play it, but overall, it's pretty good. I do have to go buy a micro SD card to expand the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to do that.
I bought one digital game so far, and I downloaded 2 demos just because of that fact. I'd rather buy the cartridge, or really it's an SD card if you really look at it.
Yeah,
but that is the one thing I was always disappointed in the Switch. It only gives you 32 gigabytes of storage. It's like...
Yeah, I don't know why Nintendo does that. I guess it keeps the cost down.
I don't see how. I mean, SD cards and solid state it's really low.
I know, but why not? Why a micro SD?
Well, that's standard now. That's industry standard, is micro SD.
I thought regular SD was standard.
No, regular SD went out right around the time cell phones started using SD cards. They're all micro.
Yeah. I have a 32 gigabyte SD card for a camera, and I'll probably never use it again.
I have a bunch of 32. Actually, I could show you right here. These are all, I got these from my dad with his trail cams. These are all 32 gigabyte cards. This half is empty, and then the other half's in cameras down our property. That's really the only full-size SD cards I use. Everything else I have that has an SD card is a micro.
Yeah, like the Pi has them, obviously. Yep. I don't have any Android devices, which they're big on.
Well, we have the tablets that are Android, and I've usually popped a chip into there just to upgrade their storage.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to buy one for the Switch, but I also bought the 8-bit DOE adapter.
Oh,
the Bluetooth adapter. The Bluetooth adapter, so I can use because I'm not buying one of those Pro controllers for $70.
$70? It's like, no. It was like, it blew my. And when I worked at Best Buy, I'm like, oh, I'll get a discount on that. No discount. It's like, oh my god.
So $20 for this. I could sync these. I could sync my PS4, my Xbox One. Multitude of other controllers, of course. But for $20, I don't have to go pay for that. I already have one lying around. I have to check and see if I could sync 2 at once.
I don't know.
That.
Because I know I have the 2 Wii U Pro controllers. One for the Wii U when we play Super Smash, and I have another one for my RetroPie. Mm-hmm. And I know those are compatible with the Switch. That if I ever wanted one of those, I would just resync one of those with the Switch.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, though, how much... I don't want to say they prey upon people who don't know what they're doing, but I mean people that I want a regular controller. I gotta buy the Nintendo Pro controller. It's like you can use any Bluetooth controller. It doesn't have to be the Nintendo branded, and I think they're just kind of making the
I
people
know
pay
that you can't just sync a PS4 controller with.
No, it has to be Switch compatible, but there are so many out there that are Switch compatible.
Oh yeah, absolutely there is. So, but that was worth it. I mean, it worked out pretty good, like I thought it would. Like, all your face buttons are your face buttons for the Switch, and your D-pad is the other set of buttons, which I don't know what they call them on that because I don't really pay attention.
It's not really a D-pad; it's just 4 buttons.
It's like 4 buttons. It's like the C stick.
Kind of, yeah.
C thing, and then the left and right stick, obviously, and then I think the let me see what it's called on here because I don't remember. Like the share button is your minus, and then the home button is your plus, or your option button is your plus. The touchpad on here,
yeah,
this tight touchpad. That's that's the button that takes the picture of your a screen capture.
Okay,
you can do that on your Switch. I don't know why they need a separate button for that. And then the home button is actually the I just turned my PS4 on. Whoops. As you can see, is actually the home button that takes you back to the Switch home menu. But the Switch is really cool.
It is.
All the ball bust that I did about it and everything, I regret that. Not really, because it was a lot of fun, and we've had so much fun with it that. I actually excited to come home and play that kind of like snipper clippers with the kids, which I found out gets to 2 to 4 players.
Oh wow!
So if I can just figure out how to sync one more of these pictures, I'll be set.
I love the fact that it is portable. We went down to my in-laws at Easter, and in both the cars I have USB hubs hooked up, so they could charge our tablets, we could charge our phones, and I have a USB-C cable for the Switch. And my son, again, I had him hooked up to the power. He had the Switch playing Doom. I had my hotspot on my phone. And there he is deathmatching as we're driving 75 miles an hour down the interstate. That you're taking a full console with you. It's just not, okay, I bought, say, Mario Kart for the Switch. Well, now if you want a portable version, now we got to buy a 3DS, get the 3DS version. You buy it once and you can take it everywhere with you. That's the beautiful
you don't
part.
think maybe Nintendo cheated themselves there, did you? Or was that maybe there's a future DLC purchase going to happen here?
Well, believe it or not, my wife actually mentioned that. She goes, doesn't that take away from their portable market? I said, yes and no. She goes, what do you mean? I said, okay, I picked up the Wii U screen mode. I said, okay, you break this. I said, it pretty much renders the system useless. She goes, I know that. Then you have to buy a new one. And I said, yeah. And I held up the Switch. You break this, this is your system. You got to buy a whole new system for $300. She's like, damn. I'm like, yeah, they'll get you that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you know what? It is really neat, and it's like voodoo magic. That's what I call it. When you put it in the base, it comes right up on the TV. What's really neat is it has HDMI control, which not everything has.
I hate HDMI control.
I like that.
I have too much shit hooked up to my TV.
I do too.
Yeah.
I had to hook it up to the TV in my front room, not my gaming TV, because I didn't have any more ports.
Yeah.
I gotta buy a splitter. I tell myself that every time I get something new, and I don't do it.
See, for me, what saves me is my receiver, because I have 4 inputs on the receiver and then an output. So one one HDMI port on my TV actually carries 4 items coming through my receiver.
Well, there you
go. Nice. And then that gives me, I think I have 4 or 5 ports on the TV. So I think I only have 1 left now.
Yeah, my TV out in the front room has 4 built in. And then my TV that I have all like my PS4 and stuff only has 2. But I have the Xbox and that hooked up to it because then I have all my older systems hooked up to it, like my GameCube and that's a retro system, by the way, Trevor.
That's
I know. You know what? We'll talk about that Gamer's Choice place. Remember that was the old whatever it was before that.
Oh, the Game Station.
I went over to game. Yeah, it said open February 10th. So I'm like, oh, great. I'll just stop. I went over there today. There's nothing in there. Nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
I've seen them open though.
I did. I went over. I knocked on the door. I looked in the window. There's nothing on the shelves, the counters. There's no Miss Pac-Man machine in there, and there's no pinball.
I think it was a Simpsons pinball. If I remember driving by, I saw. Yeah, there's nothing in there.
Nothing on the shelves.
Holy shit.
Guess it packed up. That's sad.
Wow.
So, all right. So now we're all. So what's old is new again, Trev.
It always is with our generation. We're buying back our childhood.
We always buy back our childhood. So, in the wake of Crash Bandicoots, return to bandicooting. I guess that's not a word, but
no.
I just made it up. We'll have to check the Urban Dictionary for that. Thanks for bouncing the camera around. That was great. Spyro the Dragon coming back. Spyro Reignited trilogy for PS4, Xbox One, and I think the Switch.
I didn't see the Switch because my wife has always been a huge Spyro fan. And I showed her the screenshot. She goes, "Oh, what's that coming out for?" I said, "PS4 and Xbox One." I thought she was going to go, "Oh, we need to get a PS4." Then she's like, "Oh." And that was it. That's all I got out of her.
Damn it. But I did. I think I saw it is going to hit the Switch.
Because I do want to get the Bandicoot trilogy when it comes out on the Switch.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see Spyro. This is another classic PS1 franchise. Get a new life. But this is also shows you that they have slowly run out of ideas.
Oh yeah. But I got to admit,
Hollywood, music.
It does look damn good. I mean, you could tell they went back and re-rendered everything.
Oh,
yeah. It looks fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I was never a big Spyro the Dragon fan, but you couldn't ignore its popularity either.
Yeah.
And, and that gave birth to Skylanders.
Mm-hmm.
That was the original. I guess they said, well, we needed a respectable character to put in front of the Skylanders thing. And they start searching through, Crash Bandicoot's not going to work.
Kratos. Nah, probably not.
Nathan Drake, he steals shit. We go on, and Spyro's kind of cute. All right, we'll use him.
Yeah.
Remember they had failed. Sony had that failed Smash Brothers style game.
Oh yeah, we had that on the PS3.
PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. That's
yeah.
what it was. I just hit me and I'm like, you're like Kratos fighting Nathan Drake.
It was horrible.
It was really a ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was doing the Smash thing there for a while.
Although it had the commercial for it was always really cool. That they had everybody in that bar and then they just started fighting shit.
Yeah, and then they had what was the one character from Katamari Damacy or whatever it was? Remember the ball?
Oh yeah.
He was in it, and I'm like, what are you doing here?
But they're iconic characters.
That's free on PlayStation Plus. I probably have that on the PS3.
Yeah. But I don't think Crash was in it.
No.
Spyro was in it, but I don't think Crash was.
I have to look. All right.
Uh-oh. Whip it up Wikipedia.
Go to the internet.
Whip out your Google. I'm sorry, that sounded bad.
No, that's probably a modern sex term.
Probably is.
PlayStation. Come on, catch up to me. I'm fascinated.
Which I am looking forward to the new Smash. I can't wait to see what the roster is going to be for that.
Yeah, it needs. You know what that really needs is, and it's kind of funny we just talked about it. That game needs Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
He would make I'm looking for the characters from this. Oh, here we go. Characters from. Wow, Dante's been in a lot of games.
Yes, he has. They've hoarded him out.
And then Capcom would be like, "Yeah, here you go. You can have him. $50. Yep, you can have him." Let's
making it rain.
So true. Let's see, the Big Daddy from the BioShock series, Cole McGrath from Infamous.
That's a series I could never get into. Is Infamous.
My nephew loves them. I don't get it. The Fat Princess from
Fat Princess.
Devil May Cry's Dante, of course. Hayachi from Tekken. Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. Which Dead Space games people rave over. They're so fucking slow.
Mm-hmm.
So slow. Jack and Daxter.
That's a fun series, Jack and Daxter.
See, but you know what? I'm playing Ratchet and Clank.
Kind of the same thing. It's like
I'm thinking I've got Parappa the Rapper, Zeus from God of War, and Kratos and all that. Sweet Tooth and Twisted Metal. So they really hoard out every franchise and anybody out. But you're right. Where was Crash Bandicoot when this was all going down? Not even a DLC. Wow.
I don't think they had any DLC for it.
They did because I think there was two characters, Isaac Clarke and Zeus were DLC, along with characters from other games like Starhawk I've never heard of, and Raiden from Metal Gear was in it. You know, the replacement.
Yeah.
Or the real character from Metal Gear. I don't know why they ever thought that was a good idea to hand that over to a different character.
Yeah, but like you, I got it on PS Plus back when I had PS Plus, and my son and I played
5 minutes,
maybe an hour or two of it, and we were both like, "Yeah, it's okay," but
it's not Smash. It
No.
never will be.
No.
You know, it's like that scene from The Members. Not a great idea. So yeah, we'll get talk about Smash a little bit because I think we kind of planned on it a little bit, but you know, Smash needs like what characters could you put in it now?
That
Like,
is an excellent question.
They are in it. Come to think of it, we've already seen that, but
Because in the Smash for Wii U, they had some excellent DLC characters. They had Ryu.
the people.
What's that?
They went to the people for
Yes.
that. They said, well, who do you want to see in it? That's a very rare thing Nintendo
Yeah.
did, because they're usually like, well, we're going to do what the fuck we want, and you're going to buy it in
Yeah.
spades. Cardboard boxes.
Like my son, whenever we play, and he'll piss me off, I go right to Cloud Strife for Bayonetta. And he's like, oh, great. Because he knows I'll just kick his ass with it. But they're actually solid characters. Where you have the Wii Fit trainer is almost useless in there.
Like the Wii Fit balance board.
Yeah. But you know what? Who, honest to God, two of some of the most fun characters to play with is the Game & Watch guy and the dog from Duck Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
They got
Well,
some nasty-ass moves.
The Hogan's Alley characters and stuff are wrapped up in all that. and then, oh, man. The game, Mr. Game & Watch,
Yeah.
I remember seeing something about him. He has one attack in the game that instantly knocks everybody out, but it's so random that it doesn't always happen. I guess there's some kind of, like, dice roll or multiplier or something that doesn't work out.
Like the dog from Duck Hunt, he'll throw the clay pigeons at you.
That's
So,
hilarious.
so it's great because my son will come at me and I'll just... Will you stop that?
Yeah. It's like basically somebody who used to use fireballs all the time in
I
Street Fighter.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're in there. One combo. Yeah, what other characters, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know, like if you only have this list of the top 100 games from IGN, let's look through these characters and see what we should get out of that.
I mean, in truth,
First off, should they take any characters from the previous one?
I would say yes. I would say actually, if you want people to jump on this, because we're rounding out now, what, 25 years of Smash? We got to be coming up on the 25th anniversary soon.
Let's just check that out while you keep talking.
So we got to be coming up on that soon. That I think to like commemorate like an anniversary like that, you almost have to, because the character roster was so huge and so rich in the Wii U version that I would say don't cut anybody. Bring that entire roster back and then add new characters to that.
1999, by the way.
99?
So we're pretty close to
19 years. Yeah, next year will be 20 years. So we're a year away. That, okay, you want to do... I would expand upon some of the rosters. Like they had Ryu. Well, maybe throw like Akuma in there now. Ken, well... Dan, let's put Dan in there.
Yeah. Let's put the biggest joke in fighting games. Yeah.
I mean, there's...
Super taunt. He had a super taunt.
Yes, he did.
Let's move on.
A great thing to do would be the Doomslayer from Doom. If they can get the licensing for that.
You know how much Miyamoto hates violence.
Dude, you haven't played it. Cloud Strife has a sword.
Yeah, I know.
Going to town.
Did they show blood?
No, there's no blood.
Yeah. See, that's
what?
It's okay. I'm telling you, he didn't like the concept of. There's an article about him not liking GoldenEye 007 because of the violence. He hates that. He also basically runs that company, I think.
Mario's based off of jumping on shit till it dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you're curb stomping mushrooms and turtles.
Yeah, but you don't actually see them die.
They disappear.
They disappear.
Yeah.
They just go off screen.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Who else would we like to see? You know who's not in there? That, as far as I know, is Toad.
Yeah, but Toad sucks.
He does, but it's a character. We're
talking Nintendo.
Yeah.
Really, but,
Toad's got his own game.
Oh yeah, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker.
Yes. And Captain Toad is a big part of Mario Odyssey. So, let's see. Who else? It depends on how much of a license they want to pay for. I mean, you could go out and get, like, Tekken characters.
Never gonna happen, Trev.
I know. I'm just saying that it
just
depends.
Like David Tennant, never gonna be the Doctor again, buddy.
That's okay. Hey, he did one episode of the new season of Jessica Jones, and that was awesome.
I haven't seen it yet. So shut your mouth. I'm almost there.
Okay.
You watch all of that, but you can't
do.
watch the other ones?
I love Jessica Jones.
You think she's hot?
She's kind of hot. I just love the whole concept that she's the complete anti-hero. She's just a hard drinking, don't give a shit kind of superhero who doesn't want to be a superhero. And and Trish is hot.
When she's not high.
I love how her Australian accent breaks through every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. But.
So anyway, what characters would I like to see? Oh, man, that's... Fighting game ones are tough.
You know what would be...
when it comes to Nintendo...
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You go ahead.
What'd be great is if they can get the license for some Transformers.
Digging deep on that one.
Well, you played Devastation.
I did. That game's fantastic.
It is. So imagine Devastation to the next level. You throw Prime and Megatron in there. I mean, the first board when you're fighting Devastator is kind of like a Smash level.
I honestly think if Nintendo wants to go back in time, and you should get characters from there. Like, really a great example of what Nintendo should be looking at is a Bobo's Big Adventure.
Okay.
You want characters from that. Not from that game specifically, of course, because it's every Nintendo game you've ever played. Yeah. It's Bobo's Big Adventure. That game's hilarious. But
I forget the character's name, but the main character from Super Adventure Island.
Oh, Master Higgins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. See, there you go. That'd be a great character. How about the Blaster Master character?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, that's a game that still to this day is awesome.
So if we can go back to the original NES and pick out some key ones there, that'd be great.
And they should do that.
Mm-hmm.
They really should. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. They went with popular choice last time. You know what I mean? You had Pac-Man.
Some of those were questionable.
Well, I mean, people voted for him.
I don't know who voted for Wii Fit Trainer.
No, I think it's because they thought the Wii Fit thing was going to be a thing.
It was a thing at the Salvation Army. Goodwill has tons of them.
Is that where yours went?
No, I still have mine. I don't get rid of anything video game wise if it works.
No, unless it breaks.
Yeah.
It's the only time I ever do it. But, they went with popular choice things like, Pac-Man and Ryu and Cloud and Bayonetta. They let the people vote it in. I don't think they'll do that again. I think that was just like a... here, we're going to give this a shot. Okay, now, it was like Super Mario Maker. It was like, well, how about you fucking guys do it?
I love Mario Maker. We still play that.
The game was really fun. Really, the little I played it was very fun. So, my nephew let me Wii U for a while.
So when you said Pac-Man, if we went back to classic arcade, it'd be great to get Joust in there.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I think they should grab some, like I said, I think they should be leaning on, like, they brought Little Mac in there.
Yes.
Which was a good idea. You're not going to get Mike Tyson in it.
No.
Because they don't own the license for that anymore.
We missed a huge one, and I feel horrible. Simon fucking Belmont.
Yeah, what are the Castlevania characters in that? What the fuck? How about or Dracula? I would take that. I'd be happy with that. Or even Trevor Belmont, which I know you would love. Any one of those characters that were in, like, Symphony of the Night, or this is going to be really great when we get to that last article.
Mega Man's not in it. He went to. No, not in.
He's in Super Smash Brothers Wii U. Yes, he is.
Is he?
hold on. The game features Smash Brothers for Wii U. Features 58 characters, 7 which are downloadable. 19 brand new fighters, including third-party characters such as Mega Man, Pac-Man.
Oh, I think Mega Man was in there. That shows you how much I played Mega Man.
Mega Man. What's really neat is Mega Man's Final Smash is called. It's actually called Mega Man Legends, which shows all the iterations of Mega Man that have happened over the years in one solid attack. So, I think Smash Brothers personally, I think it peaked when Snake was in it.
Yeah, that was Brawl.
Yeah, I think that kind of peaked with your third-party characters, because that's a thing in fighting games these days. Like, what non-traditional character from a game. And I sent you that link or that tweet from Bandai Namco that says, hey, how come Goku isn't in Super Smash Brothers Brawl? Like, he's a fighting character.
Yeah.
Why isn't he in there? There's plenty of like genres, I guess, and it doesn't have to be in video games that a character could be dropped into this. Will they do that? Nah, I don't know. They're making too much money on Splatoon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters that would be, like I said, from their own retro library.
Yeah.
Not to mention their third parties that did stuff for them forever. There's a lot of characters. I would love to see the Doomslayer, personally, but could you see the Doomslayer like ripping Mario's head in half and body? Like, that's never gonna happen, really. But
deshelling Bowser like a lobster,
But I could see him like, I can almost see him in the respects of that 2D Doom game that was out the platform.
Mini Doom.
Mini Doom.
Yeah.
I can almost see it in that thing, in a character like that, where he's switching guns to whatever's needed for the situation. I could see him in that sense.
But I think you're onto something, though. They need to go back to the original NES library and look at some iconic characters that they need to bring in.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I don't know why there's always, like, in the last couple Smash games. Maybe you can figure this out. Why has there been 2 different versions of Link?
Yeah.
Why is there Adult Link and Toon Link?
I don't get it.
Why?
If you want to have,
the Breath of the Wild Link will be in the next one. Let's be fucking real now.
So I always thought they're gonna have 2 Links. You should have Link and Dark Link.
You're right, they should. Dark Link's a character they don't use that much. I don't know why. That gets fucking touchy with Nintendo for some reason. They're a little weird about their old shit. Because they don't want to admit that Zelda 2 was a fucking failure. Complete failure. It's a great game, but it has such a difficulty spike. It goes from, like, it's a start of a game. Fucking impossible. Very easy. Who are you kidding? You know what I mean? Like, nobody can do that. If you've never played Zelda 2, you owe it to yourself to do it, because if you want to learn how to break an NES controller with your bare hands and teeth, this is what you need to play.
And those suckers are tough to break.
They are. You know what? Even the fake ones that I bought from a local store, which are like, there's second hand ones or second ones, they're impossible to break.
I still have my originals that I got with my Nintendo in '87.
Yeah, you bought from Toys R Us.
No, actually, my mom got it for me from Kmart. My birthday. And all the buttons work. I think there might be a little nick out of one of them for probably me bouncing it off an old CRT TV, the old console TV. Fuckers. The best is, and kids today will never understand this. There is nothing more satisfying when you get pissed off and you throw a controller so hard it unplugs from the system.
Yeah. That's so true. Kids will never know, playing a game versus another person, they piss you off so you unplug their controller.
Yeah.
Kids will never know that shit.
Or you always give the new guy the broken controller where the X sticks,
Yeah. I was that guy at people's houses. Everybody was.
Yeah. But everybody plays online now, so there's no couch co-op.
No, there isn't.
So
I hate the fact that we have to call it that these days.
I know.
We used to call that playing against somebody.
Yes. Well, Jack and I, my son, we were watching a Super Mario 3 speed run. And we're what's that?
Satisfying to watch that game play well.
And we're watching that, and he's like, "Wow, I never saw this game." I said, "Well," I said, "when it came out," I said, "a friend of mine, we would go to his grandmother's house where he had his Nintendo. We would go swimming in the pool, get out, go down into the basement. We'd play for 2, 3 hours, go back in the pool, and I said we would just keep it paused." And he looked at me. He's like, "Well, why do you pause it? Why didn't you just turn it off?" I'm like, "Because there's no save. You have to play straight through in one sitting." So while we were trying to beat it, we just paused it and go in the pool and grab something to eat, come back and play. And I said that's how we tried to beat it each time. And he just couldn't understand the concept of no save states. It's like,
Yeah.
that's how it was back then.
Well, that's why I try to explain. My daughter tries, and I don't know if your kids have a DS or anything like that, or no, probably not, right?
I
I've
showed
never
him my
heard you say.
DS, but he never got into it.
So both my kids have the 3DS, you know, and she'll be like, "Well, I'm right in the middle of." I want her to, my older daughter or my younger one, to do anything. So, in fact, my younger daughter's is right here, as you can see, and she'll be like playing it or whatever, like, but I'm right in the middle of the fight, and I go, "This pauses it.
Yeah.
Now shut it off." You know, they don't understand that we were the generation that created the term "pause the video game."
Yeah. Well, my son gave me slack today. He's in our bedroom with the Switch. He just, because the nice portability, he likes laying in our bed and getting underneath all the
Yeah.
blankets and playing it. And we're trying to figure out where we're going to go for dinner. So it was between two restaurants. I said, let Jack decide. So I'm getting dressed. I just got out of the shower. My wife's like, "Jack, come here. I need you to choose a restaurant." He's like, "Hang on, I just started an online match." And I looked at him. I said, "Good, then you could end that online match. Get your butt in there. We're leaving in 5 minutes." It's
Megan was giving me shit when she was playing Splatoon. I'm like, "Well, I just started a battle." I said, "Turn it off.
Yeah.
Put it on the cradle. Play it on the TV. I don't care."
This isn't life or death. Just stop the game.
You know, which I had a lot of proud moments watching her play Splatoon because she's like, "I just want to get another gun." I'm like, "I love you.
Well,
God, I love you."
Well, Jack took the Switch with him to my mother-in-law's on Easter. They were running a triple XP weekend, and he came to me. He was level 37, and then he came to me on Monday because he had school on Monday, but my wife didn't. So he came running home from school, started playing. He goes, "Dad, look what level I am." And I said, "How are you level 3?" He goes, "Those are," I forget what the echelon levels. Once you reach past level 50, each level up that's called an echelon level. And I said, "So let me get this straight. You went from 37 yesterday to level 3 past 50 today." He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, high five, brother. High five.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's like, I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
fantastic.
And his big thing now is, it's about a week or two ago, I downloaded Doom Builder. I was thinking about starting making some Doom levels again. And my son happened to see it. And he's like, "Where'd you get that?" And I said, "I downloaded it. Can you show me how to use it?" I said, "I'll be honest, I've never used this version." I said, "I just downloaded. I wanted to try it out." So I downloaded it for his computer, gave him all the WAD files, and that little guy has taught himself how to make some damn killer Doom levels. I told him, I said, "Once you get it to the point you think you're really good," I said, "we'll send him to Jerry and see what he thinks."
Yeah.
Send you some levels.
Well, you know what we ought to do is figure out how to deathmatch on him.
Speaking of deathmatch, I meant to send you a thing, and this is for everybody who has RetroPie. If you have a RetroPie and you're not following ETA Prime on YouTube, please follow ETA Prime.
Another YouTube subscription?
Oh, dude. It's very kind of technical, but I love ETA Prime. He does nothing but pretty much single board computers. And, that's my thing. Well, Raspberry Pis, Tinker boards, Asus boards, but he has an entire video just dropped yesterday, I believe. I haven't sat down to watch it because I want to, sounds funny, take notes, but I really want to focus on it. He shows you how to get NetPlay working on the RetroPie.
That would be fucking awesome.
It would be fucking awesome.
Like, on any game?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I don't log into YouTube.
If it's multiplayer, he shows you how to get NetPlay working to do online multiplayer. And I'm like, oh, I don't have to sit down and read like 18 different websites. You could show me.
What's that guy called?
ETA Prime. Great channel.
There it is. Oh,
great channel.
ETA Prime. Oh, he's got a wicked page.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be watching that later on after I get off of here.
Yeah,
So,
I think I'm going to. Oh, please don't play a video. Please don't play a fuck. Of course you fucking did. I hate that everybody's homepage has a fucking video on it. Subscribe. Well,
yeah, because I'm
there
gonna
goes the
watch
rest
that,
of my night.
and I gotta watch a video on how to stretch and install chain link fencing because I'll be doing that this weekend.
Would that be on the job?
What do you mean? Oh no, my asshole schnauzer broke through the back of our fence again, and between him and my little Morky, there's like nothing left of our back fence. I have it piled with boards and rocks, so they keep getting underneath there, and I just put another board in. I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna go buy some chain link and just replace that entire section. So.
Car battery and some wires.
Well, unfortunately,
stop them quick.
It's vinyl coated chain link.
Oh fuck.
Yep. But I'm getting galvanized this time because I will electrify that fucker.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a high level. It doesn't have to be a lot of amps. Just enough to remind them this one's gonna fucking hurt.
Although he's so stupid, my schnauzer, he might not even notice.
Ow.
Ow, pretty much.
Ow. That happened to somebody I know over by Dorrance Farm.
Uh-huh.
They're walking there. I know somebody lives. I know a few people who live in Liberty Hills, and so they're walking down there with it. And my one, the person I know, I'm not gonna mention who it is because I just don't want to. But has a younger daughter and a son that's about old as Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And he hears her daughter going, ow, 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 ow. He looks down and she's touching the electrified cow fence. It's fucking hilarious to me. I don't know why. So
yeah, we've had this dog for 6 years, and to this day, if you throw him a ball, he looks at you like, you dropped something, asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, just does not want to play fetch, will not listen.
Yeah, that fucking nitwit I got. I love him. I do. I know I call him a lot of bad names all the time, and I call him shitbird to his face, and whatever, right? But I'll tell you, he couldn't catch a piece of food if I threw it in his mouth.
Mm.
But a fucking handful of snow,
Yeah.
he'll fucking catch and chew it up like he caught a bird out of midair. I don't get it. It's the only thing he can catch.
And see, I wish I could take my dog and meld it with my wife's dog, and we'd have the perfect dog. Like her dog, the Schnauzer.
Plus, you'd have one less.
Yeah, he's potty trained. He's housebroken. He never pees, never poops in the house ever.
Yeah.
But if he gets out on you, he won't come when called. He just looks at you and keeps running in the opposite direction while flipping you off with his paw. My dog, she doesn't even need a leash. She will walk next to you. She comes when called, because she actually gets out. She can slip underneath the fence, and I don't care. Even our neighbor, she'll see it and she goes, Minuet, go back home. And she'll go right back underneath the fence and go right there. I've had her 5 years. I am convinced it is impossible to potty train her. She just pretty much bathroom, living room, and kitchen. She'll just pees and she doesn't poop in the living room, but she'll just pee, and it's like, and this is like she'll spend an hour outside playing, come inside, and then pee in the kitchen. It's like,
yeah,
that just I'm at my wit's end with that.
You know.
So I mean, we use puppy pads at night, but it's like still, it's just like if I could take
5.
Yeah, if I could take her who listens, him who's housebroken, and combine them like Voltron into one uber dog.
By your powers combined, I am Captain. Anyway, nobody's gonna know what that is, but so the last thing we wanted to talk about today. Well, not last thing, because I'm sure we'll get on 9 other subjects.
At least.
Yeah. Before,
Off topic with Trevor and Jerry.
Yeah, yes, it is. We need shirts. Let's get shirts. Off topic. Yeah. All right. Anyway. Is IGN put out their, I wanted to say semi-annual list, but I guess they put this out, it's been a while, of the greatest 100 games of all time.
I hate these lists.
Huh?
I hate these lists.
Why is that? You said that before.
One, they're so subjective. It's very rare that you'll see a balanced list between independent titles and AAA titles. Secondly, if you're talking the best 100 games of all time, you're now encompassing over 40 years of video games. You can't boil down 40 years of video games to a 100 list.
I think what they should honestly do when they do lists like this, I agree with you.
They should do it by system or by generation.
Disagree to agree.
Yep.
They should do it by genre.
Okay, I could see genre.
Do it by genre, okay? And whether that's a pretty broad spectrum too, because some games jump genres.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some games go from, and let me bring up the shitty Zelda 2 thing again, because that went from an action game, like a top-down action game, to more of a platformer action game, back to the top-down again. And then, then it went 3D and everybody thought it was good, and it wasn't.
And again, are they going off of looks, or are they going off of gameplay and story?
I don't know. Each one's got a really long and detailed article, and I didn't read all 100 of them. So,
but I mean, you could rate it however you want.
You can, and I guess it's like any list you see on the internet. Anywhere from best video game to best ass on the internet. I guess you know what I mean.
Because like Mario Brothers, Mario Odyssey looks absolutely beautiful, but Mario 1 has such a high replay value compared to Odyssey. That's like, how do you rate those two? I mean, they're not on equal ground any which way you look at it.
Well, let's just look at the top 10.
Okay, let's look at the top 10.
We don't need to look at 100, okay?
No.
I'd like you to know that I'd like you to know that number 12 is Symphony of the Night, though. I'm surprised that's not in the top 10.
Yeah.
Number 10 is Super Mario 64.
I'll agree.
Okay, number 9 is Red Dead Redemption. I've never played it. Red Dead Redemption.
No.
It's like Grand Theft Auto on horses. Grand Theft Auto is a great series. I found them very interesting, even though I really don't play them. I always find the concept of them because people hate them. That's why I think Grand Theft Auto does so well. People hate the violence and all that. They don't get all into that because we're fucking video games kill people all the time.
I like the Grand Theft Auto series, but I get bored very quickly by them. They're very kind of repetitive, I find.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, number 8 is Half-Life 2. Before you say anything, I've never played a Half-Life game in my life.
I've played about the first hour of Half-Life 2. Not bad. I've played Half-Life 1 and never finished it, but it's just not my genre. I mean, it's first-person shooter, but I was always, squarely in the Doom camp, not the Half-Life camp.
Yeah, I
just
agree.
Personal preference.
Yeah. So I can't say whether or not that should be number 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 7 is Tetris. Tetris, what I believe should belong on a list of greatest games of all time. It shouldn't belong on the greatest video games of all time. It was a cultural phenomenon.
It's definitely a casual game.
It is.
It's a pick up and go. That's why they included it with the Game Boy, the original Game Boy. It's the perfect pick up and go game.
It is. You ever watch the Gaming Historian's article, a video about that?
I didn't want to spend an hour hearing about Tetris.
Yeah, I agree.
That was a little long-winded. I'm like, oh, God.
So, number 6 is Super Mario Brothers 3. I can agree that should be up a little bit more. That should be top 5. Mario 3 is one of the greatest games of all time. Number 5, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And I know I could say something about it that you can't, but I think this should be higher on the list than the one that's coming. Not this one. Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo is number 4. I agree that should be top 5. That game's fantastic.
Never played it.
Okay. Number 3 is Portal.
I will agree with that.
Portal
was a game changer.
Yeah, Portal was like, first time I can't believe they haven't made another one by now. Or at least some kind of...
They have a new... it's actually coming out on the Switch. You can get it on the PC, Xbox One, and PS4. It's Portal Bridge Builder.
Yeah, they have Portal Night, too.
Portal Night? I haven't seen that.
I never even heard of it until You know where I saw that? Toys R Us. Which I want to see what that is. Portal Nights. Yeah, that really is a thing. It's an independent survival action role-playing game designed by Keen Games and 505 Studio. It was it's from Steam, but I guess it was released on. All right, so anyway.
No, Portal, I will 100% agree with. That was a game changer.
Okay, and the number 1 game of all time, according to this, number 2, I'm sorry, let me get to that, is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
That hits me right in the fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's not one of the greatest games of all time, okay?
Overhyped games of all time.
It is. It is one of the most overhyped games of all time. It really is.
Do you know?
It's beautiful, and it's got a story that you can't beat. They also did it before with A Link to the Past. They did everything that game did in A Link to the Past. just in a different way.
Now, I've never played Ocarina of Time, but my ex-girlfriend did, and she played it for hours when it came out. And to this day, when it gets really quiet at night and I'm about to fall asleep, I still hear that, "Hey, listen!" Oh, no!
No! I used to have that. I think I've said this to you before, but I used to have that as a ringtone. Not a ringtone, but a text message.
Oh, God, I would smash the phone.
No, listen to me. So I would leave it in my phone down places, but I had the volume at about half mast.
Uh-huh.
So I'd see people at my desk at work going,
I'm listening.
Yeah, hey, you know what I mean? And the number one game on this list of all time is Super Mario World. Fuck, that's hard to argue.
That is very hard to argue.
Super Mario World, fantastic game.
Near
I'm surprised, like,
perfect.
in the top 10 that Halo Combat Evolved wasn't in it. What's funny, it was 13. Super Mario Brothers, the original, was 14, and Street Fighter 2 was 15.
I find it suspect, though. If you're doing the top 100 of all time, do we really need 3 Mario games in the top 10? Not saying they're not all good.
Well, I'm suspicious to the fact that Portal 1 and Portal 2 are only 9 digits apart, or 8 digits apart.
Yeah.
Portal 2 was good, but it didn't change the formula that much.
No, they added some stuff, but Portal. I know. I don't know if you know the history of Portal.
It came from a project that Gabe Newell found called Narbacular Drop.
It was never supposed to be a full game.
No, it was supposed to be just a side project.
Yeah, and it was never released by itself. It was released as part of the Orange Box, which came with Portal, Half-Life 2, and Team Fortress. Mm-hmm. That's how it was released. And out of all 3 of those games, Portal just exploded. Now, I watched Portal development for years because they would post YouTube videos. And I was waiting, and when I found out it was part of the Orange Box, I bought it just for that. I never even played Team Fortress. I never even installed it.
I have the PS3 version.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never touched the other 2 games on it, ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, but it was that's why I was saying it was a game changer, just because it changed the way you thought about a game. It changed the way you interacted with a game. It was just, the puzzle aspect was fantastic, and it's like,
I think I totally agree with you. I think the only reason if we go back to our growing up geek days,
yeah,
you and Jason kept talking about Portal.
Yeah. And
I'm like, well, I didn't have a computer that would be good enough to play it at the time, and I probably never would anyway, but so I was like, all right, well then, I have a PS3 and I have all these other, and I have an Xbox 360. I said, they got to make it for this. And they eventually did. So I remember having to go, it was actually I don't want to say an early release for the PS3, but it was in there. And I actually had to drive up to the GameStop by the baseball field. The Rail Riders up that way.
Oh, up at Montage.
Yeah, up at Montage. Fuck, I don't know why that name eluded me. Over 40. And I had to drive all the way up there for it because it was the only one in the local area that had it. And I remember bringing it home, and I'm like, this better be as good as these 2 fuckers say it was, And I remember firing it up, and I read in the article that there was an article that said there was all kind of like stuff that needed to be updated on it before you could really enjoy it. But it was one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had.
Portal 2, if I remember correctly, that was the first game my son ever beat, and he was 5, I think, when he beat it, and he's beat it like 4 times since then.
Yeah.
But
the thing about one of those games is I've never gone back and played them again.
I have. They're I shouldn't say they're better the second time around, but the second time around you can pick out a lot more things because you kind of know where you have to go, so you can explore a little more, which is kind of fun. Or try different things.
Yeah. And I just did that by dying in the game. That's how I did it.
Now, just to get back to what we're talking about, in the top 10 we have 3 Mario games and 2 Zelda games. Half the top 10 is Mario and Zelda. I think
most of the top 10 is Nintendo.
Yeah.
If you think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10 belong to Nintendo.
And I'm not knocking it.
Partial, or are they that good?
Nintendo saved the video game industry. There's no arguing that. But I think they should have kept it to, even though it is hard to argue which is better, Mario World or Mario 3, they should have picked one for the top 10 and let other franchises in there, because I could think of a couple more franchises that are more deserving than putting an extra 2 Mario games in there.
I honestly think that there should only been one game from each franchise.
Yeah.
That would have made things a lot easier. Like, I'm looking through 11 through 25, actually, but 20 is where I'm going to just stop caring about it. Like, 19 is Doom. I'm sorry, but Doom changed the face of first-person of gaming.
And I would actually argue Doom 2 is a superior game.
Well, yeah, but
that Doom 2, to me, that should have been in the top 10.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But on within the same spectrum of things, is like I said, is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Portal 2.
Yeah.
Halo Combat Evolved is in there. While it didn't change, Combat Evolved didn't change. What would you say, Halo? I shouldn't say Combat Evolved. Halo didn't change anything. There were already first-person shooters on consoles.
But Halo innovated it because it was one of the first console games that was completely playable online. It was based around Xbox Live.
Yeah,
it was made. Well,
it was like part of their marketing in the long run. We were going to make Halo. It's going to be online. But having the original Super Mario Brothers not in the top 10 kind of burns me a little bit. I think that has more cultural impact than 64 ever did, or Wario World, the World ever did, I should say.
I'm surprised Final Fantasy VII isn't in the top 10.
Final Fantasy VII is number 97.
Wow.
Or 99.
Wow.
Sorry. You know, and that was a big impact.
Yeah.
The one I thought was that one was definitely I thought was out of place. 100 is Pokemon Go. That shouldn't even be on this fucking list. There was one that was like Soul Calibur's 88, Contra's 86. I could see that. I mean, Contra's like great and all, but it's not like
if you're in the top 50 even, I would say top 25. You have to be a genre-defining title.
So let's go from 25 and down.
Okay.
Sid Meier's Civilization.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
Minecraft.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, but here we go. Where we said again, between 13 is Halo Combat Evolved, 23 is Halo 2.
Yeah, it shouldn't be there.
No.
Like you said, it should be one per franchise.
One per franchise.
Yeah.
Okay? The Last of Us is on there, which I've never played.
I own it. I never played it. I heard it's amazing.
So I've played it. It's so fucking slow.
Is it?
It's like that's the only reason I couldn't keep going with it, because it reminds me of a lot of other games I've played in this generation that happens. It's like the pacing sucks. It's like, go here, get a brick, do this, do that. I'm like, holy fuck, let me shoot something. I hate to say it, but all right. So here one on this list is like, I can't believe it's rated higher than Final Fantasy VII, but it's Chrono Trigger.
No.
That kind of stings a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, Chrono Trigger's a really great game, but it's like, it's not better than Final Fantasy VII in my
Final Fantasy VII was impactful for the whole gaming community. It was one of the first times they killed off a main character and you didn't see it coming.
You're right. And it wasn't like it was a joke.
Yeah.
It could come back later in the story.
She's dead.
She is dead. I mean, we could go over all of them, and there's really not a point to it. I think the point of the story on this one for me and you is that these need to be genre-based.
Yeah.
Art lists. They also need to be. They're fun to read. I personally think they're really fun to read.
They're argument starters, is what they are.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's like sitting in a room with your family and says, "What do you like on your pizza?"
Oh.
Or now, baby. Holy shit. I just wonder how many on this list will be re-released on Nintendo's Virtual Console for the Switch.
I'm actually hoping that whenever they come out with their Virtual Console, that they actually do re-release some GameCube games on it.
I know the capacity on them isn't much.
No, it's not. It'd be great to get a portable version of the original Luigi's Mansion or Rogue Squadron or something. That'd be fun.
I would like Metroid Prime. Yeah. I think play that on the shitter. That would be awesome.
And with the motion controls, you could just set up the screen and just sit there on the shitter and.
Yeah. Well, I haven't done it with the kickstand thing. I didn't do that yet.
I've done it at the kitchen table when I was playing Mario Odyssey because if you play with the Joy-Cons separated, there actually is special moves that you can do with the
Like
hat
a
throw.
hat spin thing.
The hat spin, and you could go like this, and it'll actually spin on its end. You could just whip it real quick, and it'll go in a circle. Other than that, you have to like swing the whole controller around, and it's annoying.
I have to say though, the only thing I'm like slightly disappointed in the Switch is one, you can put those fucking things on your controllers wrong. Yeah, those covers for the Joy-Con.
Oh, only morons do that.
I screwed it up the first time. And this fucking hunk of junk.
It's too tiny.
And first off, it's okay if you don't have anything else.
Yeah.
It's nice to have.
Yeah.
But
I wish it was a little bit bigger. Give me an extra inch of width there, and
it's not gonna be this.
no.
For me. You know what I mean? This fits in my hand well, and actually what's nice is that adapter will work on other systems. It'll work on a lot of different things. So I'm actually kind of pleased with it. That was only $19. That was
That's not bad.
No, that wasn't bad at all. In fact, that was under the I don't have to say anything to the wife amount.
It's a beautiful thing.
So, yeah. Did you order this? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I got the call today because I had to pay some personal bills online, and my wife. I always tell when she's on because today was payday. She pays bills on her lunch because I get all the emails to all the accounts of payment here, payment there. Thank you for your payment. Yeah. And I get a call from her. She goes, "Okay, we need to talk." I'm like, "What's wrong?" There's a bunch of charges on the account. What the hell is this charge? Okay, that's this. What's this? That's this. What's this? What's that? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And it was all under. I think the most expensive thing was registration for the boat, which was like $28.
Yeah.
So it was all under the limit, but it's like she's like, "What the hell is Fish and Boat?" Oh, that's the registration for the boat. What the hell is MC Pro hosting? That's our Minecraft server that we pay quarterly. And it's like just stupid shit like that she doesn't see that. It's still under the wife barrier. I didn't have to ask you.
Yeah. That was like when we bought the IP Vanish.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelly sees that out there. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
I'm like, you still want to watch TV shows?
Yeah. You need this.
You need this.
Yeah.
So, but another good time. Actually, we kept the articles pretty thin here.
We did. It was good to expand upon.
You know what I wanted to bring up though, real quick before we
Sure.
probably stop is what's with Hawkeye and the Avengers thing going around the internet?
I don't know.
He's not on the poster. Is he not in the movie? I don't fucking care at this point. I just want to see it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I want to see Iron Man in that extreme. It's not extremist armor. It's called the bleeding edge armor. If you look that up, if you read about the bleeding edge armor, it's stored in the hollow of his bones. When he thinks about it, his armor comes on.
So that's why I love the original Iron Man. It wasn't believable, but the suit was big. It was bulky. It was still a suit.
Stupid, you know what I mean?
But now it's like so skin tight. Like it's like the helmet. There's no more helmet. It just magically forms over his head. In the which one was it? It was the second Avengers. He gets to where Loki's staff is, and the suit literally opens up, and he just steps out of it. It's like I think
with some things you're gonna have you need a progression. And you know what? It's like if you think of Tony Stark's like narcissisticness and alcoholism and all the other fucking props that guy really has. But he's always trying to if you look at like the progression of Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, like the suit had major progressions. Like he had the suitcase one, which I didn't find out was really from the comic books. I thought they made that shit up there, but that was really a comic book thing. Like he really did have one of them. And then, in Iron Man 3, which is post-Avengers, he's got PTSD, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And all he's doing is making up armors. You know what I mean? Like, 44 to 50% of the armors he created had no fucking real purpose than the final battle of Iron Man 3.
Bring in the army.
yeah, bring him in. All right, now we've done this, now blow them all up because we're never going to use them again. Don't get me wrong, Igor was the coolest one. The one that held up the crane?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the coolest one. I'm sorry. They could have used that for the next 50 films. I don't care. And they didn't use. I mean, they're going to use the Hulkbuster, I guess, again, which I'll be happy with because I think that's really...
the toy line ruined the Hulkbuster.
Why? I don't know anything about this, so go ahead.
Okay, it's a spoiler.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
No. Hold on. I have to make dark considerations at the moment. No, I don't. Let's
Okay.
pass.
Okay.
I liked the Hulkbuster in Age of Ultron.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was one of the most badass scenes of the film.
That's actually one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when he's hitting the Hulk with that piston. He's like, "Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep." I love that.
I like, and I mentioned this before. I like when he hits him with the elevator and knocks one of his teeth out.
Yeah.
And he sees him out, and he goes, "I'm sorry." And then it's just the Hulk beating on him and they're flying up the side of the, I think what I like about any of the Iron Man scenes, is watching. I know you said that it got ridiculous with him walking out of the suit.
Yeah.
And stuff like that shit is really neat.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not neat. It's just I think I like the first Iron Man still my favorite Marvel movie just because you see him building it and they build it in such a way that you think, okay, that actually might be possible, kind of, and now it's just like.
Well, you know what? For me, it started to get silly when he created the Stark Tower and he would land and the machine would just take it off him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, all right. Well, he had to find a way to make that a little more manageable.
But he went from that to the next movie just stepping right out of it. You eliminate all the machines, and now the armor comes to him. Well, in Spider-Man Homecoming, he can control the armor now with a pair of glasses.
Yeah, fucking Wi-Fi connection. You know what I mean? And then he steps out of it in that one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not even here. And there he is.
And I'm still pissing.
One thing I always liked about Iron Man's armor, and it's an aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
And I love shit like this in a movie. And I've probably said it to you 100 times, but in the scene in the Avengers where the Chitauri army is about to start pouring in, and his vision, like that Tony Stark vision. I don't know what you want to call that.
Yeah, the HUD.
The HUD. Yeah, that's what it is. The HUD. And it switches from peace to war.
Yeah.
That's a wicked scene. It's very subtle, but I'm like, holy shit, that's how simple it is for him, So, oh, God. I can't sit in a chair too long. I can't do it at work anymore either, but whatever.
So one last thing I want to add to the conversation, and
okay.
I will just leave it at this because I can't talk about it, but everyone's got to go see Ready Player One.
Was it that good?
It was.
All right, let me ask this question.
I won't say how, but I've watched it 3 times already.
All right, then I can watch it at home. In comparison to the book?
The book, they put... There's pieces of the book in there, but the storyline, the overall storyline is pretty good. However, in the book, the gates and the challenges, how the characters meet, and that storyline of the character arc from the beginning to the end is thrown out. But I think we talked about this, that for them to get all the licensing is next to impossible. Do you remember, did you ever finish the book?
I'm near the end. I haven't had time to read it.
So, do you remember Parzival's car?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Ecto-88. So, in the movie, he has the DeLorean. It has the kit in the Telltale in the front, but I guess they couldn't get the licensing for Ghostbusters because there's no Ghostbusters logo on the door. Little things like that.
I could see past that, though.
But no, what I'm saying is, because of a lot of the intellectual property, you remember the first gate challenge.
Sure.
Not in there.
What?
Not in there. The second gate challenge.
What?
Not in there. Do you remember what he got when he had the perfect game of Pac-Man?
Yes.
Did not get it that way.
I almost don't want to go see it in the theater now.
There's an extra character they threw in there that was not in the book that actually plays a pretty central role. That I wasn't losing my shit. I actually had to kind of step out of the movie and go, okay, this is not really the book. This is not a novelization turned into a movie. This is a standalone story in this universe, kind of a retelling. Once you look at it that way, it is an absolutely awesome movie. It is fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
I don't want to hear any more about it because I actually have a lot of interest in seeing this.
No, it is fantastic. It is worth every penny. It's only 2.5 hours. It is.
I know that it's making a lot of money when they were selling Artemis underwear at Hot Topic.
Yes. Well, let's put it this way: within the first 10 minutes of the movie, Parzival meets Artemis, and know that doesn't happen in the book.
That doesn't happen That doesn't happen until the first gate challenge.
Yep. And yeah, it's the first gate challenge.
We sound like uber geeks.
Yeah, I know.
This is really cool.
In the movie, the first gate challenge is a car race that anyone can participate in.
That's not in the book, though.
No, not even close to the book.
It was Joust in the book, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he had to find the cave, which was based on the old D&D cover of the skull, and then go through that whole Indiana Jones part with all the traps, and then play the game of Joust
against the
Grim Reaper guy.
Yeah, whatever it was. He had a name.
Yeah. So all that is not in there. You just have to win a car race to get.
For the part you had to act out war games in the book.
Not in there.
Fuck! Really?
The part where you had to act out Holy Grail. Not in there.
Shut it down. I'm done.
Did you get to the third gate where he had to go?
No, I'm near the third gate.
Okay, then I won't ruin that. The third gate. No, this was the second gate. I'm sorry. Second gate where he had to go to Halliday's house in the recreation world of his. None of that's in there. We do eventually see his room, but not in the way you think.
All right, shut up.
Okay.
That's enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow something for you.
The one thing I do hate.
Han shot first.
What? Oh. No, Han did shoot first.
I like Han shot first. All right, let's go on.
So, but no, it is absolutely worth it. It took me a good 20 minutes to get the book out of my head and just enjoy it for what it is.
So, was it beneficial to read the book first, or was it would have seen the movie, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
So if I don't finish this book,
it's not going to affect you.
The movie, and then I finish this book, will I be disappointed?
Yes and no. If you don't finish the book and go see the movie first, it's going to be a completely different story. It's not going to affect your remembrance of the book. Yeah, it's not going to affect the story in your head from the book. But when you do finish the book, because it's such a more in-depth story in the book and paced completely differently with different interactions, it still will be satisfying to read the end to see how that story ends.
Okay.
I'm trying not to ruin either or for you.
Let's cut it off right here.
Yeah.
Let's stop. Because I'm going to want to ask more questions I don't need the answers to.
No. All I will say is my wife was completely bored during it, but my son loved every minute of it.
Like Jumanji.
So, I haven't seen the new one. The first one's a classic, but
the second one, it's not a second one. I don't even know if you
remake. I don't even call it a reboot. It's a remake because they do reference the original one in the new Jumanji.
Yeah, for like 4 seconds.
Well, but it's a callback, so it's not a reboot because they're acknowledging the first one existed.
Okay. And Karen Gillan's in it.
Yeah.
And
that's all you needed. That's all you needed.
It's the only reason I wanted to watch it. There's a lot. Jumanji's got a lot of video game standards. Mm-hmm. I'll say there's a lot of things in the movie that are like once you see them happening, you'll laugh because you realize that's how it is in actual games. But the story itself is pretty generic.
The one thing I will say that I can't wait for the Blu-ray to come out for Ready Player One is just in watching it the next 2 times after seeing it in the theater. Is I love watching in the background, picking out all the Easter eggs and all the cameos. And they just did, was it a Watch Mojo? No, it was a Rotten Tomatoes video that showed up on my Facebook feed that they went into some of the Easter eggs, some of the characters you never saw. And I saw almost all of them except for 2. I didn't pick up on 2 things. But the scenes are so fast that you have to, your eyes are scanning everywhere. That it's fun.
I spotted stuff in the trailer.
Yeah.
Early in.
Yeah.
I had said to you, I said, fucking Duke Nukem's in this?
Yep.
I was stunned by that, and he's only in it for a split second. I'm sure.
Literally a split second.
Yeah.
But it's fun picking like in the last battle scene where everyone's avatars. You see like the battle toads in there and shit like that, which is just kind of fun to see. And
Yeah, and the Spartans from Halo.
oh, there's a whole squad of Spartans in there, and
Mind you, John 117 was the only one fucking left alive, but
So,
we'll get past that.
But it's fun. But yeah, I would say it's extremely loosely based on the book. The beginning part of the book, the first 2 chapters, is sort of there. The overall arc of the story is somewhat intact, but the meat of the book just isn't there. So, but enjoy the book. The book is, to me, superior, but this is a good popcorn movie. This is a good geek movie. This is something you would just want to sit down and ingest and enjoy. So, it is totally worth the time. It's totally worth the money.
I
would recommend going to the theater first, just because the other copies that are out there, they're cam copies, and the image is really soft because it's all mostly CG. So it's a little soft.
Okay.
Where you go to the theater, it's nice and crisp, and you could see everything, and it's totally worth it.
All right, I will roger that again.
Yes. But no, finish the book. The book is 100%.
I'm getting there. If I didn't have to work, I would have read this twice by now.
Damn you, work!
Yeah. So damn need to eat, electricity, food.
That's what you got a wife for. Get your sugar mama.
Only if. Hate to say it, but sometimes, I'll let it go. She might hear me play this one night.
So. Oh, and one last thing is, for those of you watching on video, you've noticed we have a new video background overlay. So we're at an arcade, actually, which is kind of fun. So if you like it...
I put $80 into this machine, by the way.
Yeah, pretty much. We could have bought a machine almost for a while.
Yeah, you know what?
Put it into
Probably could have combined.
So I don't know if it's going to be too crazy for people watching the loop on the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 machine, but I think it's fun. It's like actually being in an arcade. Even though they're really not arcade cabinets, they're refurb or multi-arcade cabinets. I take the JAMA boards. So
maybe let's see what we can screw with your eyes next week.
Seriously. Well, I'd have to get something else, because the reason I put MVC2 in there is because I had the big marquee.
No.
So that's the whole reason I put that in there.
Next week, Star Trek.
I got plenty of Star Trek there.
Yeah.
We could be everywhere somewhere new each week, but that's just...
I spent 40 minutes looking for the one that I wanted, looking for a crisp picture, and I couldn't find one.
That picture I sent you is really crisp. So
No, the War Games one.
Oh, the War Games. Yeah, I could not find a really crisp picture.
I will work on one.
Yeah.
I will get us one.
And it needs to be a decent size, because, this is 1080p, so actually it needs to be at least 720p. So...
Okay.
But, yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Jerry, once again, thanks for having no social life and joining me on a Friday night.
Yeah, I don't do anything cool anyway.
We're over 40. We should be in bed by now, actually.
Yeah, I should have been in bed 4 hours ago.
So, okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Yep. Okay, bye.